Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
It's Wednesday, Addams. I see you're trying to distract yourself from your own banal thoughts. Let me help. Here's a recording thing made of my latest root canal.
Wednesday, Season 2, begins August 6th, only on Netflix.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
The following contains descriptions of physical violence, sexual violence, and graphic descriptions of autopsies.
Hey listeners, welcome to episode 86 of TGIC Podcast. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Izzy.
First of all, we're so sorry this episode is coming to you a little delayed. I know we usually try to get our monthly episode out in the middle of the month, but summer's just had a lot going on. So we're getting it out in July. It's just the last day of July.
Yeah, better late than never.
That's so true.
Yeah, we've been busy. This has been a crazy month.
Yeah, and we just we haven't been in the same place. We're just now back in the same country, but we're not even in the same state. So trying to coordinate things is so difficult. But we are doing it. Because I really wanted to record an episode. I miss recording.
No, I do too. And I love recording and I love researching. It's just so hard to get everything straight. And hopefully once we get on more of a set schedule, it'll be better. It's just hard in the summer.
Yeah, I know. Summer's just such a hard scheduling time sometimes.
Yeah, which you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I know. I just feel once you get to I don't know, I feel it was this in high school too. High school and college, it's just there's so much going on in the summer because you're expected to be doing something at all times. You're not supposed to be lazy, so you're supposed to be doing stuff, and then you don't have time for anything else.
No, exactly. And this is my first summer living in an apartment. And dude, I didn't realize how much work it is to live in an apartment.
What do you mean? Dishwasher and stuff?
I don't know. Grocery shopping is such a pain in the ass.
It is
grocery shopping, cleaning. Just why is this another job? It is another job to be living in an apartment.
It was such an adjustment for me when I did that last year because grocery shopping is so it's fun for a second. And then once you start to run out of food and you're okay, well, if I don't go get food now, I won't have food
anything.
And I'll be hungry. But then it's I don't want to spend the money right now, but it's
no, literally
you have to spend the money, you have to eat.
Yeah. The other day I had literally I was about to go to work for an 8-hour shift and I had no food in the house and I hadn't eaten anything all day because I had no food. And literally, you know what I had to make? This is horrible. This is actually bad. I'm embarrassed that I'm about to say this.
What?
I ate rice, plain rice, and eggs.
Wait, that's like not weird. I do that all the time, like normally.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
Oh
really
my God.
good.
No, my roommate was flaming me for it. I mean,
What?
it was
No,
good.
that's like,
It was just weird. Like, it was like the most, like, I'd never eaten it or made it before.
I mean, if you have like some soy sauce and like a little sriracha, it's better, but like
Yeah.
I've like had that several times before. My dad eats that like all the time.
Ah, I remember your
That's not
dad
even
chefing up
bad.
in the morning.
That's literally not even bad. I thought you were gonna say something like really gross.
No, I mean, it wasn't gross. It was just like, wow. Like, all I have is eggs and rice in the house
You
right
know
now.
what? That's like pretty solid though, like that you had those things.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
It's
those are
true.
good basics.
Yeah. Anyways, can we get on with the episode
Yes,
after
let's
that
do that.
detour? If you guys can't tell, Jillian and I have not talked in like a while, so we're like kikiing a little bit. It's gonna be some tangents.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Also, I just like am not awake right now. I don't know why. I think it's because I've like been sleeping terribly in my childhood bedroom. I just feel like I'm in a constant state
Oh,
of like tiredness.
oh
Um,
yeah, I get that.
so if I sound like I don't know, like mentally in and out, it's because I am. Um, but anyway, today we're going to be covering one of the first American kidnapping cases to receive widespread media coverage, which is the kidnapping of Charley Ross. So let's get started with some background. Charles Brewster Charley Ross was born in 1870, making him just 4 years old at the time of his disappearance. Charley was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he lived there in a pretty big, like mansion-style house in this wealthier neighborhood that was called Germantown. His parents were Christian and Sarah Ross, and the pair had 7 children, so Charley had 6 other siblings. Charley was closest with his brother Walter, who was just about a year older than him. A couple sources said he was 5 at the time of Charley's disappearance when he was 4. Others said he was 6. So, like, I think like 1 to 2 years older. I think records and stuff from the 1800s are a little wishy-washy. At the time of the kidnapping, Charley's mother, Sarah, was actually living in Atlantic City, so she wasn't living in Philadelphia with the family. So just keep that in mind. She was away during this time.
Damn, so the dad was taking care of 7 kids by himself.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not aware of all of their
Wild.
ages, so like it's possible some of them could have been older and like functional, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I
That's so
don't know if
crazy,
Charley was necessarily the youngest either, so like he could have been like the oldest. I'm not actually sure like the pacing of the ages.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, that's a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
So let's get into the timeline a little bit. On July 1st of 1874, that day, Charley and his brother Walter, they were about 4 and 5 years old at the time, they were playing in the front yard of their house. 2 men pulled over their horse-drawn carriage to talk to the 2 boys. They offered to buy Charley and Walter candy and fireworks, but the like catch was that they had to go with them to pick up the candy and fireworks.
Also, just sorry, the visualization of 2 men kidnapping kids in a horse-drawn buggy is crazy.
I know. I like can't picture. I just feel like they move so slowly. But like obviously it's like that doesn't make a difference because like it's still like tragic and like no one knows that they're being kidnapped, so like they are still being taken away. But like they move. It's not like you know when like there's like a car and there's like this like high speed car chase. Like
yeah,
they move quickly. This is literally like they have to rely on these like horses to move a buggy. Like
yeah, like ain't no way they're moving that fast.
So the boys like were like, okay, we want candy and fireworks. And the thing was that like it wasn't like they were getting into this carriage with 2 complete like unknown men. So apparently like for the past like week or so, these men had stopped by like several times and given them candy in like the week prior and like talked to them while they were playing in their front yard. So the boys actually like had kind of started to like know the men, like not like they for real knew them, but like for the past week they had been like their chat and candy buddies.
Cat and candy buddies.
Yeah.
God,
so when they stopped by and they were like, yeah, we can get you more candy and fireworks. You just have to come with us to get it. The boys weren't like completely sketched out because they felt like they knew them already.
And they were itty bitty. Like
yeah,
they were
like,
little
kids. And they had just been talking to these people for like a week and they'd been getting candy. So like, why would this time be any different?
Yeah.
So the boys said that they would go with them and they get in the carriage and they drove pretty far through Philadelphia until they got to a store that sold fireworks. When they got there, they gave Walter 25 cents to go inside and buy the fireworks. So Walter goes inside to go pick them up, but when he comes out of the store, the carriage was gone. And the two men and Charley were nowhere to be seen. So just in that little bit of time that he went to go buy the fireworks, like the horse buggy takes off. Which is just crazy and also just like really sad. Every time I think about this story, I think about like Walter coming out of the store and just being so like lost and confused.
And he was like 5. Like he was a little kid.
It makes me like really sad to think about because like now he's worried about his little brother. He doesn't know where his little brother is. And then even like in the sense like he might not even realize something evil happened at first. He might have just thought he got like left behind.
Yeah.
And that like kind of like that breaks my heart too. Like I just feel like there's like every way you think about it, it's so sad. Like this little boy coming out of the store and like no one's there for him. And his brother's gone with these two random men. It's just so sad.
Yeah.
So during this time that the boys were missing, a neighbor of the Rosses actually told their father that the boys had gone somewhere. The neighbor said that he had watched the boys get into this buggy with these two men and he didn't know them. So he just like let the dad know. So the Christian is their dad. He kind of starts to panic after hearing this because like his little kids just got into a random horse-drawn carriage and like no one knows where they went.
Yeah.
So he like starts trying to look for his sons. At first he chose not to tell his wife that the boys were missing just because she was staying in Atlantic City and he didn't want to panic her if like the boys were totally fine and he found them a little bit later.
And also like how are they communicating? By like telegram?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I actually don't know how they are communicating. So it might have been like kind of a very difficult process. And so like if it's going to take such a long time to even contact, like it might like the better priority might be to like try to find the kids.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So after Walter was left alone at the store, he was forced to find his way home alone. And he was also like terrified because his brother had just been kidnapped.
I mean, yeah. And even if he didn't realize like, oh, my brother was kidnapped, he was probably like, holy shit, these people just left me.
Yeah, exactly. So he finally makes it back home. It was a good bit of time after he was originally taken. And no one's really sure how he made it back or how he like found his way, how he survived. Like it's all a little, the records on that part is a little like wishy-washy. So while Walter's return was hopeful at first, once he started to tell what happened to Christian, it made them like really lose hope in the return of Charley, just because it had been so long that Walter had even been like able to find his way back that like no one even knew where Charley could have like gone to with these random men at this point.
Yeah.
So Walter goes home, he explains everything that happened to his family, and they're like scared. They don't know what to do.
Yeah. And like amidst all of this, about like several days later, Christian Ross, who's Charley and Walter's dad, received a ransom letter on July 3rd. The note was mailed from a post office near Philadelphia and written in coarse handwriting. There was a lot of misspellings throughout this letter, and I'm going to try and read it. It's going to sound like gibberish, but here we go.
It looks like gibberish written out.
It looks like gibberish. Like it's on our Google Doc right now, and it's all red because it's spelled so incorrectly. Okay. Mr. Ross, be not uneasy, you son Charley Brewster. He all right. We as got him, and no powers on earth can deliver out of our hand. You will have to pay us before you get him from us. And pay us a big cent too. If you put the cops hunting for him, you is only defeating you own end. We is got him fit, so no living power can get him from us live. If any approach is made to his hiding place, that is a signal for his instant annihilation. If you regard his life puts no one to search for him, you money can fetch him out alive, and no other existing powers don't deceive yourself and think the detectives can get him from us That is one impossible you hear from us in few day. So yeah, total gibberish. But like, it's also crazy to me. Like, why did they use the word annihilation?
Well, that's like the thing is, they use really big vocabulary in this ransom note, but like can't spell it for shit. Like literally, like basic words like will and have are misspelled, but like they've got like annihilation, impossible, like
existing, deceive.
Yeah, just like big words that no one needed to use, but like they can't spell simple ones.
Yeah, super interesting. So this was the first.
The fact that like Earth is spelled correctly, but like other words aren't is weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we've talked about ransom notes before where people, like, for example, John Bonet, everything freaking ties back to that case. But like, some of the, like, they were using flowery language, but like the words were misspelled almost in like a deceiving manner.
Yeah, is that like an intentional thing people do, or is that just like a weird coincidence with the John Bonet case? And this was like a time of like lower literacy rate, so like this would make more sense. I don't know, but like the using big words despite like misspelling so many things is confusing.
It is so confusing. Okay, so this was actually the first of 23 ransom notes that would be sent to Christian, and all of them were in the same style, and they all demanded the same amount of money. So the second ransom note requested $20,000, which is equal to like $40,000 today, and threatened Charley's life if Christian sought out police help. So likely the kidnappers assumed that the family was rich because they lived in this like extravagant house in a wealthy neighborhood, and Christian operated a dry goods store, but that was not the case. I mean, they have 7 kids, and also the Ross family was in severe debt due to the stock market crash of 1873. So the family had no way to pay the ransom and decided to get police involved. As soon as Christian Ross contacted the police, the story began making national news. And actually, Charley's mom, Sarah, found out about her son's kidnapping from a newspaper before hearing from her family, which is wild to me.
I know, that's so crazy. But like, that's the thing about like how news was traveling then. Like, honestly, like, because if you were to mail like a letter or something,
it might be like, slower.
It would be slower than like news.
Yeah.
And like, I don't really know too much about like telegrams and like how phones were then, but like if they were in like severe debt and stuff, like I don't know how like plausible like the more expensive modes of like communication were. Like if they were
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I mean, the kidnapping had really heavy press coverage and everybody wanted to help find Charley. So it makes sense that like this was national news. Like everybody was hearing about this. And so that makes sense that was like probably the fastest way for his mom to find out.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
It's back to school season and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes. Teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Some prominent people from Philadelphia actually hired the help of the Pinkerton National Detective Agency to help find Charley. They printed millions of flyers of him. A song called Bring Back Our Darling was even made about Charley to help spread awareness. And police attempted to set up several meetups with the kidnappers based on the ransom notes, but they never showed up. Eventually, the kidnappers stopped sending letters, and despite all of the publicity, the case began to go cold. Which is just wild that this kid just vanished into thin air. And it's also like, one thing I think about, why did they not take Walter? Why did they just take Charley?
I'm really confused about it too, because like the thing was they already had both boys like in the carriage. Like they could have just kept going, and like they did that intentionally.
Yeah, and both boys are similar in age too. It's not like one of them was like 15 and Charley was like 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if they wanted to do it for ransom, they never even got the ransom money, or like they just kind of quit it with it at some point. So like I don't know what happened. Like it seems like a weird motivation, and they couldn't even like figure out like why they were specifically targeted. I guess just people assume they were rich. I don't know.
Yeah. So interesting.
It's crazy. You know, this case is like has such like historical ties with like true crime cases just in general. Like this is where like the whole thing where it's like, you know, don't take candy from strangers came from.
Really?
Yeah, like this case started that, like, don't take candy from strangers.
I mean, that does fully make sense. Like they were they were basically like groomed into this kidnapping via the guys giving them candy and getting familiar with them.
So like when you're in elementary school and you're told like, you know, don't like take candy from random people, or like don't go to someone's car with them to see their puppy, like all that stuff like came from this case. And then also like the missing persons database, the Charley Project, is named after Charley Ross.
Interesting. The more you know.
A lot of history ties back to this case.
Yeah. So getting into some of the suspects and like, I guess theories. These are just more suspects though. So the first one is the 2-man robbery. December 13th of 1874, 2 men were caught breaking into the house of Judge Charles Van Brunt in Brooklyn, New York. And amidst the chaos and confusion, one of the men was shot dead and the other was fatally wounded. The men, Bill Mosher and Joe Douglas, were known career criminals who had recently been released from jail. Bill Mosher was killed in the house, and Joe Douglas ended up dying only a few hours after his original injuries from he like got after like during the break-in. On his deathbed, Joe Douglas said that his partner in the break-in had been one of the kidnappers in the Charley Ross case, but he had no idea where Charley was now. The police, which I have no idea. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know where the kid is? Like, what? The police attempted to trace evidence back in order to find Charley, but their efforts were fruitless. But also, like, why would he lie? On his deathbed, like, he's a career criminal. He's been in jail before. Why would he lie? Like, that wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean?
I mean, sometimes people do, though, like, just for, like, the clout. For lack of a better word, like, the clout, yeah.
Yeah.
But like
it is. What were you gonna say?
I wish there was like the in between chapters, like, you know what I mean? Like if he was telling the truth, like where's the like when did he no longer know where Charley was? Like,
yeah, like fill in some information. But I mean, I guess
it's only a matter of a couple months, right? Like 6 months.
Yeah.
So like, where did Charley go?
Yeah, and like, why did you kidnap him? Like all these things because they didn't get ransom from it. So
yeah.
It is notable, however, like this gives some like, I don't know, backing to the story that Walter was actually taken to New York to look at the bodies of Mosher and Douglas. And he positively identified both of the men as being the ones in the carriage from the previous summer. So apparently Mosher was like super unique looking because he had a malformed nose, which Walter had previously stated to police looked like a quote-unquote monkey nose. So he said that before even seeing Mosher and like the body. So I feel like that's significant.
No, it definitely seems like a reliable lead. I'm just like, what I'm confused on is like literally it hasn't been like years, and this is like a years later deathbed confession. It's like less than 6 months. So like he needs to fill in some gaps because like theoretically there's Charley's still like 4 years old. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like he's just like an adult now who escaped and is living off in the world. Like, it's literally been less than 6 months. Like, where's the kid?
Yeah, where's the kid? And also like, but I mean, I guess it makes sense that he couldn't give any more information because literally he only lived for 2 hours after he was shot during the burglary. So in that 2-hour period where he was literally dying, he said, by the way,
I just don't know how they weren't able to like, I don't know how they were like able to find the kidnappers but not able to find Charley, and it's only been a couple months. Like, and like
Yeah.
no leads, nothing. Like,
Exactly. Like, how does he have no clue where the kid is?
it's just crazy to me.
It's insane.
Okay, so the next, like, it's not a suspect, it's more of a theory. And this theory involves the fact that somehow Charlie got away and lived his life not knowing his real identity. So in 1934, a 69-year-old man named Gustav Blair petitioned a court in Maricopa County, Arizona to be legally recognized as Charley Ross. Gustav's story was that he was abducted as a child, briefly lived in a cave, and then was adopted by the Miller family, who told him that he was Charley Ross. Which is a little bit of a long, complicated story. I don't really know where the cave part connects in, like how, but and then he somehow was adopted from this cave into this other family who were like, your real identity is Charley Ross, but like they didn't tell anybody else. They just told him.
Yeah, and also, like, where's a cave in Philadelphia?
It's a great question. I mean, I guess he did end up in Arizona, so it could have been anywhere between Philadelphia and Arizona. I just, like, what do you mean he lives in a cave? Like, do people really live in caves? Like,
well, can a freaking 5-year-old live in a cave?
Like, sorry, maybe, like, cancel me for that. I just said, like, can people even live in caves? But, like,
I mean, I think that people can, but I don't think that a 5-year-old can.
I just, like, alone? Who did he live with in a cave? Like, it wasn't these men, because, like,
they died.
They were dead.
Interesting.
So, I don't know how he got to the cave. And then I didn't know they, like, ran adoption agencies out of caves.
Yeah, what? I don't know.
So Walter, who was Charlie's brother, did not like believe this story at all. Like, he was like, this guy's just like he called him like a crank or something. He was like, he's full of shit. Like, he's not legit.
Yeah.
But in 1939, the court ruled that Gustav Blair was legally Charles Brewster Ross.
Oh.
So people were really skeptical about this ruling, but like, it went through, and they like ruled the disappearance of Charley Ross as solved because like they identified him as Charley Ross. But the Ross family themselves refused to recognize him as their relative, and like they didn't leave him any money. They didn't welcome into the family. Like, he was completely ignored. Yeah. So like, I'm surprised like the court like went with it with like literally no evidence. Like, there was no like DNA. Like, I actually like they just bought this guy's story and like legally ruled him that guy and like solved this like really long time running like missing persons case that like had a lot of media coverage. Like, I don't know how they did that with like literally no evidence.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, granted, in 1939 they didn't have like DNA testing.
I know, but like, don't they need something other than like some random guy's story?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, no birth
like,
records.
Doesn't the family have to be like, yeah, this is our relative? Like, I don't know. Like what do you mean he just showed up and he said like, my new identity is this missing boy from 1874? Like, what do you mean he said that and like they've approved it?
Yeah, that actually does make zero sense.
Like, literally a piece of paper, like something to like give some sort of like confirmation. I think they literally just went based on his like weirdo story.
And also his story made no sense. So for them to go strictly off of that is preposterous.
Crazy. But yeah, after he is given his new identity, the Ross family doesn't accept him. So Gustav decides to move to LA and attempt to like sell his life story to a film studio, but he was rejected. Probably because it sounded fake.
Yeah.
He then moved to Germantown, which is like the neighborhood that the Ross family originally lived in. And he lived there for a couple years before moving back to Arizona, and he passed away in 1943, which is only 4 years after he was ruled to be Charley Ross. And at the time of his death, he like still insisted that he was Charley Ross.
Wow.
Yeah. So flash forward to 2011, some of Gustav's relatives, I think these are like his kids, had a DNA test conducted to see if Gustav was related to the Miller family, who he said that was like his adopted family. But they like wanted to get a DNA test done to see like if there was any DNA connection between Gustav Blair and then like his alleged adopted brother from the Miller family, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The DNA test found that Gustav was biologically related to the Miller family. Like he had like a 99.99% match to his brother.
What?
So thus, that wasn't his adopted family. That was literally his family.
Oh.
They probably never told him that he was Charley Ross. This man definitely did not live in a cave. And there was just no way he was Charley Ross because of this 99.99% match.
Well, freaking Gustav Blair. Like, who are you?
Like, he's just a crazy guy, but like, I'm literally so stuck on the fact that this like county in Arizona was like, hell yeah, we'll like rename you as this guy who like this little boy that went missing like decades ago. Like, what do you mean? I'm so confused.
Yeah, that's wild. That makes zero sense.
And then I think, like, I don't even know if the case is considered solved or unsolved, because at one point it was considered solved, being like, oh yeah, we found him, he's Gustav Blair.
So I guess it's unsolved. But it's also like, I feel like we did get some closure with the robbery guys, but that's also
I agree, but like that still doesn't like tell us like where Charley is.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting and bizarre.
Like, there's like no answers really. And I don't know, like, at this point in time, if it's like feasible to even get answers, because it's just, that was so long ago.
Yeah, it was so long ago. And if it went cold then like,
I know.
What are they going to go off of now, however many years later? Yeah.
Yeah. This case just makes me really sad.
Yeah, it's horrifically sad.
Like, it makes me really, really sad.
Yeah. And like just I'm sure that Walter was so young, but I mean like the survivor's guilt of like being like, what?
I also just like the fact that this is like all kids now are like told like, you know, don't take candy from strangers, but like that's like that comes from somewhere, and like it's just like you don't want to be the little kid that like is like, yeah, I'll take your candy and gets kidnapped. Like, it's so sad. And like every time I think about Walter coming out of the store, it makes me so sad.
Stop, you're making me sad. I'm like about to cry thinking about that. It's horrible.
I know. Yeah. So this was the kidnapping of Charley Ross. I feel like really emo right now. That was like, that case really like took me.
Emo right now is crazy statement.
Sorry,
so
I feel
emo.
like that's a good way. Like, I feel emo.
No, that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
I say that like, because it's not like I'm like, it's like a feeling stronger than sadness. It's like I am emotional, but like, I can say emo.
Yeah, no, I get that. I feel emo too.
Yeah. But yeah, tune in next month for another new episode. And in the meantime, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at tgic.podcast. Bye.
Bye.